we have a set. Hopefully, everyone can hear me fine. I
Yep.
think we're good from what I've heard. So, back to the set here. Dexter versus Duke Thompson. Dexter will have Banano Cove. Duke will have Monkey Lanes. Dexter will have Mayans, Persians, Lithuanians, and Britons available. Duke will have Italians, Byzantines, Burgundians, and Vikings available. Should be an interesting set between these guys. I
Yep.
know. Go ahead.
I'm going to say again, Dexter picks the water map, neglects to pick a proper water civ. But besides that, generally high tier Arabia civs, which the two other maps are certainly Arabia like.
Indeed, indeed. And we'll see how that works out for him here. We're going to dive into the set in just a second.
And yeah, please be sure to share your capture age to me.
Yes, working on it. Had it shared, but then the microphone happened.
Cool.
Alright, guys, game number 1 here. Dexter going to have the Mayans. I guess this isn't really much of a surprise anymore. Mayans being picked oh so frequently here. We'll see what happens. Interesting point. No loom coming from Dexter. So he is aware of the little bonus here, thanks to the monkey not taking up the space. And then on the other side, Duke will have the Byzantines. Interesting spot to choose Byzantines here, but he does have Vikings in his draft, so if he has to play Banana Cove, I'm guessing he's going for Vikings.
I will disagree with that Civ pick assessment. He picked Byzantines and Italians above Vikings. I bet he just used his fourth pick on Vikings possibly to block the opponent from having the option.
Good point.
Yep. But looking at the maps here, dude, Dexter has a really sweet spot in this corner. Super easy wall up. The cliffs, the trees all come together. He can like wall in 2 golds, a stone, his berries with honestly like 10 houses or something. I mean, he could choose to go for other buildings, but a very juicy wall up. Whereas Duke Thomas has to play this naked man. This is the definition of unwallable.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough on both sides. Want to see how the game comes out. Most likely, though, we've seen Mayans going into somewhat of a man-at-arms into archers play almost every game here in this high elo, which is not too surprising, I suppose. It is a great strategy for Mayans, and seems to be what everyone wants to go for nowadays.
Yep, men at arms, archers works. I mean, I don't think players at this phase of the tournament all really know that this is an unusual Arabia, so I bet they're just playing their intended main Arabia map or strap. But I don't know. At the same time, these guys are so good. Maybe they're scouting the opponents, seeing that it's easy wall up or something like that, and figuring they need to go men at arms on the fly.
Yeah, all things considered, though, still have to get the build down, still have to get everything out in a smooth fashion. Thus far, both players are doing quite well here, as it is 0 TC idle time for both players.
Yeah, man. I mean, I have so little to say about these players' openings. They're clean. Looks good.
Yeah, everything looks really good here, and it looks like both players are or have pushed in some deer, and I think that has become something that we'll see very frequently. I think even for myself, going up through the ladder, obviously not as high as these guys, but I feel like pushing deer becomes so more frequent as you get higher into the elo ranges here.
Yeah, I mean, pushing deer, absolutely huge. I personally prefer on the jungle Arabia, once you've scouted all your resources, to send the monkey across, just because it so often gets 1 or even 2 vills of damage in. And if, that doesn't go well, you can still bring it back home on 1 HP to push the deer later. But both these guys opting to push their deer up front, they're better players, man. They got tighter builds. They also probably don't appreciate the power of the monkey just yet.
Yeah, we'll see how things work out. We do have a militia out here, and going to be at least two, probably a third queued behind this, I would imagine, but we'll have to wait and see if that is what we're going to have. So far, it looks like it may just be a two militia drush, and it looks like it's being matched on the opposite side as well, so going to be very interesting. One problem I see though, Duke headed in the wrong direction here. Let's check the scouting. Looks like Dexter is headed in the right direction for his opponent at the moment. On the opposite side, yeah, no scouting. So Duke is going to be headed in the wrong direction. He will need to realize that before he just goes completely in the opposite direction for too long. But shouldn't see any golds or stones down here in this corner. Should indicate to him that he is likely in the wrong area.
Yep, as he pre-walls, but with just like 1 HP, especially with the monkey in the mix, that isn't going to hold. Duke won't take any losses here.
Yep, good timing for him to get out of there, immediately making that decision right away. Loom was not in yet either, and it is now on its way in. Militia are still around here. Let's see where they are at. They're finally making it to the opponent's base. He is still open, but he has to go quite a ways to get in there still.
Yep, beautiful wall up. Duke's militia should do basically nothing, possibly just waste a little Vil time on the repairs. But Dexter is so comfortably walled up, as Duke looks like he's about to take some damage on this wood line, unless he's a real quick wall master. Nah. Monkey's ensuring it doesn't go up. Nope. Off by just a little bit.
Yeah, and that was a big moment, really. Monkey, though, is here. This will go down really quickly. The repairs will need to come in. Second lumber camp is here, and I think those two Vils will be stuck there, should it be the case. Don't know if they can get through. It's too difficult to tell. On the other side, Monkey and Militia just battering against the wall as well. First up will be Duke, it looks like. It won't be by a wide margin, but first up is always a good thing to have happen for yourself here.
Yep, but he's going to probably use his faster up just to, I guess, clean up this drush, presumably with archers. Yeah, players looking real competitive here. I didn't check the seeds in advance, but I am unable to identify which of these players is stronger at this point. I can say with great confidence, though, that they're both better than I am.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell by the color which is seated higher, so that's your real information bust right there. Duke is going to be a little bit lower. Insane quick walls. Holy crap. Can he keep him up, though? He does not. This villager will be lost. But all in all, that was a very nice attempt to save those. And he is still forward, still trying to pressure, sees the archery range will be coming up. He will go double archery range. Now there is a chance that this will still be spotted by his opponent, because the militia and the monkey are forward, trying to get another Vil here.
Yep, I think you expect ranges here, though. I mean, probably for archer skirm mix, it just makes so much sense for Byzantines. It makes much more sense than a stable versus a fully walled opponent.
Yeah, and honestly, the position that has been walled here for Dexter, I would love to see this be recognized here by Duke and maybe see a forward from him, but archers are already going to be out. He does not see the gold here. Barely even found his opponent's base there, but ultimately double range here. Going to be able to outproduce for the moment.
Yep, outproduce, but to what end, man? Dexter's quite safe at home. I'm sure if the pressure starts coming in on this wall, he can either re-wall behind, drop a tower. He'll have two ranges of his own. I kind of prefer the one range play, which I assume will lead to a faster castle age time than, Byzantines just building mass. Because, I mean, with this kind of defensive base, getting to Castle Age earlier, getting out of Mangonel, getting crossbow, seems more important than having better feudal numbers.
Indeed, indeed. Dexter with the follow. Perfect timing, sir. Thank you, thank you. I mean, it's really looking better for Dexter as well. He's got the economy lead here. Military numbers are a little bit less. However, he has got quite the economy going behind this. And he's got better eco upgrades having Horse Collar in, as Duke does not have that just yet. And we're going to see a big wall off here for Duke. And this is one of the issues with this map here. It's just so difficult to wall up.
Yeah, this is not the most useful wall either. He's going to be facing ranged units. Once Castle Age comes in, Palisades, they're more of like an alarm system almost than a wall. Like, such a giant Palisade wall is impossible to wall behind. Duke's not really protecting his base in any permanent way with that structure.
Yeah, one bonus for him though is he does get that extra sight with Town Watch and Town Patrol coming in for free. So these walls will give him quite the vision here, and he will at least know where his opponent is if he's trying to break in any area. But that's really about it. Archer numbers are pretty much equal. Actually, it looks like there are 2 more. The militia are still out for Duke. So Blacksmith Market coming down here for Dexter, who will be clicking up here momentarily. Pressure is in his area, but really isn't affecting the build here at all. And yeah, a little bit of buying, selling here, and Dexter clicks up. Duke is so far behind now.
Yeah, I'm a little confused where all his resources went. I didn't think he was that behind in economy. I mean, yeah, man, this is kind of a devastatingly faster feudal, as Dexter might want to sneak these archers out and get them across the map, because he's going to have an incredibly wide window of crossbow versus feudal here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's comfortable though with the Mayans' cheaper archers to just build these numbers up for now and wait for that age to come in. I guess it's hard to say where the res distribution went. His economy is actually more efficient right now, but he is missing Horse Collar here. That may be partially why he has no wood. He's making archers as well. He will come out here, and now Dexter is going to be able to go forward as he chooses. Like, he may wait for some upgrades first, but
he's got a pretty long way to go, man. I wish those archers were marching across the map and not showing themselves to the militia, but he probably assumes that Duke is clicked up not this far behind, man. Duke is going to probably feel pretty bad when he sees his opponent come in at the moment he's just clicking up himself.
yeah, and he is going to sit on this hill here. If the upgrades don't come in time and rock right past this, he could take a decent engagement, but he is just going to return home. Probably try to save his numbers. And it looks like he is trying to double wall behind this a little bit now.
Yep. I mean, maybe this isn't the case at their elo, but if I'm the Byzantines here, I immediately start thinking skirms. Yeah, as he does, cue the skirms. That will allow him to take better fight immediately. And Dexter is just hardcore pure ranges. I think he's 3 ranges now. Skirms are definitely a welcome addition to Duke's army.
Yeah, but he has no defensive upgrades. Fletching had just come in there. His gold is super exposed. We'll actually lose 1 vil here, and these crossbows will be in no time. Ballistics already on its way here, as well as Dexter is just now going to add that second town center. And Duke is going to take a fight, potentially, just to try to keep these out of his base at the moment. Like he
teasing battle there, man. I don't think he had any intention of engaging, but he did cause the crossbows to hesitate for an additional second. Oh god, this wall on the wood. You know, it looks like Duke is mostly safe. I don't know. A lot of these lumberjacks are hypothetically rangeable. Whether or not this gets a ton of vil kills, it's going to idle a lot here.
Yeah, I think they're all rangeable, actually. We'll see. Maybe not. So rough. Bodkinera is about to come in, but these skirmishers don't have any defensive upgrades. Neither do the archers here. Crossbow army will just destroy these units here. Duke is in a lot of trouble here, as Bodkin will come in, but there's no crossbow upgrade on its way in, no skirmisher elite upgrade on its way in.
this is devastating, man. At this level, I'm comfortable saying that the game is won by Dexter. Very weird timing for Duke to go in with those skirms and everything. He had just hit Castle Age, but none of the upgrades had gone in. Perhaps he felt if he didn't take the immediate engagement, he would lose too much economy. But yeah, Duke is in a hopeless economic situation here, and the military ain't too hot either. Yeah, as the GG comes in.
Yeah, things spiraled rather quickly there. Ultimately, 2 militia drush for both players spiraled into some very nice walls here for Dexter, and his map really allowed him to secure his position, take less damage.
Yep,
Duke.
but I'm going to say the map and the Civ drafts are encouraging. I think Duke still might have the reverse sweep in him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I always hope for the final game. So we're going to be rooting for Duke in game number 2 here, which will be on his home map. We'll shift over to that here and get you guys... Oh, there we go. Get you guys that information. If you are just joining us, guys, this is an ongoing event. Lots of games already cast, but we are still just in the round of 32. Alright, so Mayans with the win over Byzantines here. Home maps going to Duke's home map. Will be Monkey Lanes.
Yep, and man, some real popular lanes picks for Dexter. I'd say Britons and Lithuanians are by far the most commonly seen civs on the map, but Persians recently actually taking a game with the douche, showing how viable the douche is on this very narrow map with limited wood lines.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting. Going to have to wait and see what happens here. Loading into the game here right now for you guys. It will be Dexter here. He will be in yellow. And he will be with the Britons. And then Duke with the Vikings.
Oh boy, this Civ match does not bode well for Duke. Britons, maybe this is just my personal experience, but I find Britons make easy work of Vikings.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. There's a very interesting possibility on this map that, like we have here for Dexter, these golds spawn next to each other, and it will be difficult to secure gold if we have a man-at-arms tower play into archers, potentially what we're going to see here. Should be interesting. The eco behind this is always going to be so good for Vikings as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe either of these civs get bombard cannon either.
They do not. I mean, you say Vikings have good eco, but Britons with the faster sheep and the cheaper TCs, I find to also be just fine in the eco department. And at the end of the day, both these civs are inclined to go archers. The Briton archers are strictly superior with additional range. I feel like the higher you get up in elo, the better players are able to abuse the superior range. I don't know, man. Britain archers just feel like a trump card in this matchup.
I mean, we'll see. I actually like Vikings in this matchup. I mean, Siege Ram is the death of Britons if we get to that point. We'll have to wait and see. But honestly, anymore when I play late game against Britons, I'm just trying to get to Ram numbers with skirmishers. Like, that is literally all it takes sometimes.
Yep, I feel that. It kind of forces the Britons to maybe add onager or something like that, which... Yeah, maybe it's not as simple a matchup as I'm making it out to be.
Indeed. Geo, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well.
Yep, Geo signed up for the tournament, but his PC died on him, so he had to give up the admin win in round 1.
Yeah, such a shame. Hopefully that is all going well for you. So game 2 here. I want a game 3, so I have to say we're going to see Duke take this game here. Hopefully. But Dexter with the Britons, like you said, still a great civilization. They do have some bonuses that really help them out here, especially with the herdables, cheaper TCs. Extra range will always be very helpful with Archer v Archer battles.
Yep,
Vikings
but
also now, I believe, don't get Thumbring. Is that correct?
that is correct. And you know what? I'm thinking that maybe the Viking eco bonus is like amplified at the higher elos. I'm just thinking back to Yo-Yo's game where it looked like he was doing so much damage to the opponent and he was able to just boom so hardcore. Like, I always hear the pros talk and the casters talk about how strong the Viking eco bonus, but I never really felt it myself. Maybe I'm grossly underestimating it, and Duke is just going to be able to maybe lose some of the early fights in Castle Age, but ultimately have the superior economy and get to those Rams and such like you're talking about.
Yeah, I really feel if we get Skirm and you add in Siege Ram, it's going to be really good for the Vikings here. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, obviously, light cav for these civs, not the greatest either, so we'll see if that comes into play at some point. Duke is forward here and sees the barracks here. You
Yeah,
can delay this potentially, maybe even kill a Vil.
Yeah, last game Duke lost some of his quick walls to the monkey's insane attack speed. All right, I was wondering if he might have learned just how potent this creature is, man. I'm curious to see how the high level players work this monkey. I mean, it wasn't especially intentional, but we've really pumped up the scout on these maps, replacing it with this monkey boy.
Yeah, and this is beautiful micro here for Duke as he's going to prevent the barracks from going up for a little bit longer. We'll eventually have to get out of here as the monkey comes forward. But ultimately, getting a Vil kill here, delaying a barracks, which you know your opponent wants up. Given the time this barracks was coming up, it was before he clicked to the next stage. I'm thinking he was going to go for some sort of age rush behind this.
Maybe. Definitely Men-at-Arms is the way to go now. That's probably what he was thinking all along. It is also possible that he was just thinking to go straight archers. Like, especially, I don't know, as Britons versus an expected drush. Maybe it changed at the high level, but I love just going archer opening. Like, as soon as your first one or two archers hit the field, the drush or Men-at-Arms is totally neutralized.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, looks like Man-at-Arms still will be the play. Walls not up for either player, which is a real difference compared to our previous brackets where we saw walls quick, frequent, and early on this map. So we'll have to see what happens. Barracks going to be coming up here. The quick wall coming in as Duke did not want to repay a villager lost here to the monkey. Militia on their way forward. We do have 4 on gold already here, so we're going to have Man-at-Arms as soon as the food is available, I think. There we go.
Yep, very clean builds from both, man. Minimal TC idle time. I mean, the units, the upgrades are all coming in right on time. The units are arriving at the base pretty much the second the upgrade comes in. This is a very clean Men-at-Arms build. And Duke, I mean, it's going to be quite a while before he has his answer out to this.
It is. It's going to be a while. It will be double range opening yet again here. We are going to see some quick walls here. So as long as he can keep these up, going to be pretty good. Looks like he's going to potentially lose a Vil here, though. There is a Vil trapped in here. And the monkey and Man-at-Arms will make quick work of that palisade wall. Love to click on it, but of course it's in the worst possible place. There we go. He is able to out-repair it.
Yeah, as he tries to repair it, he's probably having the exact same trouble clicking it.
Yep. This wall is not complete, however. Will he notice this in time? He does not. 2 Vils will have to run. Like they will get away.
Yep, so in the end, these Men-at-Arms kind of don't do the work as the first archers are about to pop out. The monkey is an absolute beast versus the archers, but I don't think one monkey alone can stand up to more than just 1 or 2.
Yep, and double range opening here without going into Man-at-Arms, killing a Vil early, and a little bit more idle TC time here for Dexter. Things are starting to look pretty good at the start here for Duke. Additionally, his eco does have wheelbarrows, so these Vils are a little faster moving, and he will be able to run away from these units a little bit easier. We'll quick wall in this wood line as well. Only one range and a blacksmith coming up behind this here for Dexter.
Yep, as the Britain players actually going skirm makes sense, but at the same time, this is very good for Duke to force the Britons to essentially open skirm, like denies them that straight archer, huge crossbow mass that they're dreaming of.
Yeah, and the skirms being here, no fletching, no bodkin for either, will trade at a decent level here. The monkey and men-at-arms are here as well, which is actually going to be really good here for Dexter. He looks like he's going to get a Vil kill, at least one, maybe two. That was a pretty decent exchange for Dexter. He did lose some of his military, and is now going to be pushed back.
Yeah, definitely should be happy to trade a men-at-arms for a Vil there, as Duke's now moving across the map with vastly superior numbers of ranged units. Basically, he's like 2-1, but he's versus skirms primarily. He has his own skirms to match. Duke, with good microman, should be able to take excellent fights here.
Yeah, padded archer armor is on its way in though, so it will make it a little bit more difficult, as Duke does not have any of his ranged upgrades.
Yeah, okay, take everything back. Without fletching, you just can't fight this at all. As he's got the res for it, he clicks it. Numbers will still be in Duke's favor. He's just got to avoid the fight for the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, and the economy is exactly the same. Idle TC time fairly similar as well. Res looking to be pretty well distributed, although we have a lot more gold for Dexter here, as he has been making pretty much just skirmishers. He's added in an archer here or there, but not in a massive number.
As it looks like Duke's trying to run by with these archers, maybe use the archers for raiding and use the skirms for fighting military, but Dexter postures back, Duke groups everything up. As Dexter going for the bad kind of wall on this map, I feel like walling straight across the front always, I mean, it does always get you a bigger area for less total wall.
Yeah, and I think that's probably just the inexperience on the map here. It looked good at the start. I thought he was going to keep walling across, but yeah, this wall here is not exactly what you want to do. We'll see how this affects things, but ultimately Duke, having some idle TC time as of late, has fallen behind by 2 Vils here. Honestly, I would love to see him dive this, try to get some Vil pickoffs.
I can understand his reluctance. He could so easily get walled in, and Dexter could wait until he has better numbers to take an engagement. Diving this really risks the whole army, and yeah, just not worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Second range finally coming down here for our Britain player. And back at the base here for Duke, he will wall up pretty much straight across, walling a little bit of a crooked kind of line, but it's still a little bit less walling than we have seen the Dexter go for here. All in all, I mean, things are looking pretty good for both. Obviously, being down 1 Vil for Duke here, not the greatest, but he does have a better KD here. Skirm numbers are pretty good here for Dexter, so these archers likely not wanting to take this fight.
Yep, as it looks like Duke is gonna have the vastly quicker Castle Age click up. He'll get there with a very large army of skirms. You say he's 1 Vil behind, but he's a wheelbarrow ahead, soon to be a hand card ahead as well. I think Duke is looking excellent here. Like, I guess when I was saying Britons do well here, they do well here if the players arrive in Castle Age at a similar time with good crossbow numbers for the Britons. And this is like a skirm mirror right now. The Britons' military bonus is barely in play at all.
Yeah, and that Viking economy really just showing how much it made up here for being down a villager, having more idle TC time, still able to click up faster, and has quite the large military on the field. It's very good to see. I would love to see him progress this into a win so we can go to Game 3 finale. But we'll see. We'll see. Britons are Britons, and 16 military to 22. Pretty safe economy for both. It's hard to say.
Yep, as the Britain player is switching into Archer production. I guess the skirms were just for feudal age survival. Now he's switching into his ideal comp. But, like, Archers, soon to be crossbows, even as Britons, aren't great against a full mass of skirms once both armors come in.
This is a brutal time to fight, though, taking a lot of damage downhill. Military numbers starting to even out here. Ultimately, it's a really weird fight. The hill is now in favor of Duke here. They're just kind of jockeying for the hill position here. Looks like Duke has taken it. We'll go for Elite Skirm right away.
Yep. And the Britain player's not prepared to make anything but ranged units. Skirms will run things here at the front. Duke immediately takes an even bigger economy lead when he hits Castle Age with his Civ. Yep, forward Siege Workshop. Oh man, Elite Skirm and Mangonel versus straight Archers. I think the Viking player should be able to do this, man.
Yeah, I actually really think we should see a Ram first to kill production. I really think that's the right move against Britons, because you're going to have to deal with extra range, which makes it impossibly difficult to deal with these Briton crossbows. If you can keep his production down, I think that really changed things out, but looks like he is going for a defensive siege workshop here, and it will be a Mangonel.
Yeah. Especially with the possibility of Britons adding their own mangonels. Rams are just kind of hard countered by the mangoes. And Britons, of course, can theoretically out-micro the mangonels, but over the course of the game, the Briton player tends to take a few pretty good shots, and it's frustrating to run your mangonels into Britons who outrange them, but I feel like it's just what you gotta do.
Yep, first Mangonel is on the way out. The hill here is really good for Duke as well. He will take quite the advantage here with that elevation. And he looks like he's going to try to shoot down this house. Try to break in.
Yep, we do have instant ballistics for Dexter, though, so if he really wants to micro his heart out, he hypothetically can still take very good fights with this unit matchup.
Oh, huge shot from the Mangonel, though.
Yeah, Duke just loses everything in an instant there.
9 kills already with that one Mangonel.
Oof, that kind of swings the whole game, as these skirms are still a fine military. They looked a lot finer, though, when it was like 14 of them rather than 6.
Yep, but Mangonel is here already for Duke. It is not here for his opponent right now, and he's taking a few good shots here, killing Avil, sending the Goldvilles running. And this is where it's going to be difficult now, because the Goldvilles have to change position, and the gold is essentially denied, but there's a Mangonel about to pop out of the siege workshop. It will go after the Mangonel.
Doesn't quite get the kill. Repairs come in immediately. Very nice of Duke there. If he had lost this Mangonel, his offensive would have been just completely neutered.
Yeah, another Mangonel coming here for Duke, so even if he trades, he'll be okay with that. Behind this, though, Viking economy, obviously with Handcart, is going to be quite helpful for keeping these numbers up. Only 8 on food for Duke, 7 on food here behind this for Dexter, who will add a stable.
Approve of the stable, man. I mean, even some knights would do excellently here. Yeah, a couple cavalry units would just do tremendous work versus the Mango and the Skirms. That completely tips the balance. Duke, he's going to have to add a second unit of his own, and Vikings, you don't want to add, definitely don't want to add spears and stuff versus the Britons. I guess you end up adding your own cavalry to match. Maybe start mixing in your own crossbows. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Duke really needs to just fix his economy. He has 30 on wood. He's floating 1,000 wood right now. I think he needs to get onto gold a little bit more. Maybe even try to get onto stone for some forward castles. Something of that nature could be big. And it will be knights coming in here with only skirms. Crossbows are going to try to evade this military force. Knights do not have any upgrades though, so they will be rather weak, especially to mangonel fire.
Yep, the skirms are doing decently against these low numbers of knights, though the knights are still probably trading effectively, getting the mangonel, getting a few skirms, and allowing the mangonel to get a few hits. As the crossbows move across the map, man, and they really need to do damage, as it's now 2 TCs to 1.
Yeah, it is going to be important. We are going to have a monastery here. I like that move. I think that will be very good. Knights will be able to be converted here. Skirmishers are taking down knights right now, though, so that is a plus for him, but obviously don't want him to lose the mangonels. The crossbows are forward and are about to break into the base here, and this is going to be really good for Dexter. It is just now realized, though, and he will have to retreat, walking to the town center, though, which is fairly close. Crossbows aren't going to survive too long in here, but he will try to micro those for a while.
Yeah, it's a shame they got caught by the skirm so quickly. That was like 11 or 12 Briton crossbows with ballistics. That potentially could have done so much damage. I think they just picked a couple vills, though, and in the end, that was actually a huge army he sent across to counterattack that's done almost nothing. That bodes horribly for the Britons if that's all he's able to do.
Yeah, and this forward Vil looks like it might finally go down. He's trying to keep it alive and does. Mangonel v Mangonel here on the front now. Dexter is looking to do damage, but he's just having difficulty finding said damage.
Yep, he should get some good... Yeah, this group can two-shot Vils. He should be able to pick a few, but ultimately, he's still behind 1.5 TCs about, as his second one's just coming up now. Duke is taking this to the late game, and Vikings, as you were saying at the start, once they get to a comp that includes Siege Ram, especially if they get there sooner with a superior eco, are probably the better civ.
Yeah, and it's really been tough here for Dexter as once he had to relocate his gold, it's on the front as well. He has to pay attention to this position the whole time, and the skirmishers have tried to go look around, see what his opponent is doing. Will be a third town center on the outside now here for Duke, as these crossbows are still alive and causing problems, but ultimately looks like they might get cleaned up here shortly.
Yeah, the lack of ballistics for Duke is the only reason those are able to survive, as the skirms have just been chasing them at max distance and missing forever.
Yep, Monk is here now, though, and we'll get a conversion. This will help turn the tide a little bit. +1 finally coming in for Dexter here, as this mangonel could take a really big shot. Monk will barely survive.
Yeah, monks were the correct choice for sure. They didn't occur to me, but against small numbers of knights, it is just the unit choice for sure.
Yep, and Duke is going to start to shift into his own crossbows now, and we're going to have Elite Skirm coming for Dexter. So, interesting, both players shifting into the opposites eco, or military composition, but ultimately a couple, 3 mangonels actually. This is a big push, going to be 4 mangonels, a 5th on its way.
Yep, I like it. I don't think either player is really switching so much as they're just both going for mixed armies, basically. You can't fight pure archer versus skirm, and if you're going for ranged units, you don't want to be mono skirm.
Yeah, we'll see what happens behind this. The military numbers right now are so very, very much in favor of Duke here. 33 to set 12, 11. It continues to change. Mangonels are forward here. Mangonel should pop out of the siege workshop here momentarily. Town center is in trouble here, though, with all these mangonels taking shots at it.
I think Duke's closing this out right here, right now. Some big mangonel shots are kind of Dexter's last hope. The mango pops. Duke, yeah, manages to 1 for 0 it. Dexter is dying, man. As soon as these knights go down, I wouldn't be surprised to see the GG now, man.
Yeah, he's going to fight the mangonels with villagers as his last hope here. Crossbow is in. Military numbers are down quite low here for Dexter as well. He's going to try to repair the town center, but there's a few crossbows and skirms here. Knights will clean up the mangonels, but ultimately the military is still here, still killing vills. Looks like Duke is going to be taking this to a game 3 here, as we had hoped.
100%. 40-2 military with that 40 military right in the middle of the base. I guess Dexter might not want to call it because he did really just win that battle, taking out the mangonels. It does kind of completely thwart the push, but the army is still going to be standing here, and more mangonels are going to arrive. Man, just 1 or 2 monks would have closed the game out there, but I think it doesn't matter. Duke has this in the bag.
Yeah, and these knights still only have +1, and there are crossbows here now as well, so we'll go down quite quickly to those. Skirmishers still obviously not the greatest thing here, but Mangonel is coming forward. Do have a Mangonel in the Siege Workshop for Dexter coming out here too. Could get a big shot, but even one big shot, if they're not completely massed together, probably not going to kill everything. And yep, the GG will come here. And Duke gonna take us to a game number 3 here against Dexter.
Yep. And as I was saying at the start, man, Dexter has picked the water map, but Duke has hoarded all the water civs. I mean, the TM clan had a bunch of guys sign up. I expect Dexter, like, at least chatted with some teammates, if not practiced a little. I imagine he knew he was picking a water map. So I guess he has an unconventional build or something planned for his home map here.
I mean, Persians and Lithuanians still available aren't bad civs to have here, to be honest. Persians with those docks, always nice. Lithuanians, great hybrid civ, great economy early. I mean,
Yep.
if you're going to have backup choices here, Dexter definitely has some solid ones.
Yep, I mean, I guess you have to play this to win water, man. Persians are possibly fine in the ultra late game at land fighting, but between these civs, I think Lithuanians into a super fast feudal with no fishing ships into galleys is probably the play, as it is Lithuanians. Yep. So Dexter here is going to probably just try to use that extra food to get a fast up, get the galleys going, and on the other side is Italians. They also are able to get up pretty fast, man. Not quite as much so as the Lithuanians, but I mean, the Italians are the stronger water civ at literally every phase of the game, except for arguably the first like 30 seconds of feudal or something. So I'm favoring Duke here, man.
I mean, favoring the Italian player makes sense. It definitely does. Lithuanians with this additional food here is interesting. We already have 4 on wood here, only 2 on food. On the opposite side, completely food eco based. Lithuanians can run this a little bit here into early fishing economy, which I think can be huge. And depending on how Dexter plays this, I would really like to see someone use that bonus into early ships, preventing your opponent from getting more docks up potentially. We'll see if that becomes the case. That would involve a galley opening, however, I believe, which would be difficult. But Lithuanians already going to be sending a Vil out here to build a dock at minute 2.5 minutes. I really do like the Lithuanians pick here, even though it may not be top tier. Although it was probably his best option between this and Persians. Jabari.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally muted myself. Yeah, he home mapped this. So you say Lithuanians is the best he had available. There was a moment at which he had pretty much the whole whole set of civs available. Portuguese, Byzantines, these could have been picked.
That's true. Portuguese were still available even.
Yeah, and he's actually going for fast fishing ships into a fast feudal. Maybe this works really well. Yeah, let's see, dude. I'm also very curious what the pro meta will turn out to be as far as military goes on this map. The jury is definitely still out as to whether the galley opening beats fires.
I think it does. I don't even think it's a question in my mind. I think it's always beat it. It's just the fact that you have to have your build solid behind it. You have to get up first. You have to be able to mass those numbers. And you have to be able to micro it and come back to your economy constantly to keep everything producing.
Maybe, man. I never found it to be the case in practice, and I was under the impression the people I was playing against knew how to perform a build in micro galleys, but it's possible that the rules of the game just completely change. As we see another player, oh my god, they're both pushing the deer. Okay, they really are playing a different game here.
Yeah, I mean, both players pushing one at least. I think, is this the second one? Yeah, it's the second one here for Dexter as well. And he will actually get all of this food under the TC using the TC trick, microing it out. Has 3 fishing ships already, compared to just 1, about to be 2 here for Duke. And just look at the population difference right now. It's insane how different the build was. And Dexter is sitting in what I think is another minute faster to the next stage, personally.
Is this Lithuanian thing like a new innovation? Because I played in a tournament that was all water maps, and in preparation for it, I watched like every game from Hidden Cup 4 that was played on like islands, and no one ever picks Lithuanians. Like, I was under the impression that they're far outside the top 5 water civs.
I think in the late game on islands is why you didn't see them on islands in Hidden Cup 4. Islands is a different animal. This is very much a water map, but in late game, Lithuanians can still be extremely good and versatile on this map. And I think it's just they're a hybrid map civ, and that should be what their title is if you're gonna label them to a map. Obviously, Arabia, they're good as well, but with that insane economy, I think they may be one of the best hybrid map civs there is.
Well, we will see, man. He's successfully getting up like a full 30 seconds before the opponent. I assume galley openings for both at this point. I don't know, man. I suppose I'm starting to bend a little bit on my preference for fires. The more times we see the high level players open galleys, opening fires. Yep.
I think what you'll see is we'll see this fire opening then, and then he'll shift into galley, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little bit more meta.
Yeah, and he can get them across the map faster, I think, is his play. Third dot coming down here for both players. It's an extremely close game. Dexter still has a slight lead, but that is fishing ship number based, and those may not last very long. We'll just have to wait and see. But oh no, Duke is housed. He will get some fire ship production, but this does slow up your build here a good bit. And yeah, well, so far it is just going to be full fire galley. Interesting choice.
Yep, I like it. I mean, he's going to have 5 fire galleys right outside the enemy docks, basically, as the first fire galleys are coming out for Duke. Doesn't get any fishing ships before the first fire comes out. Tanking some fire deliberately with the fishing ship. Pro move that we hadn't seen it at all in the lower brackets.
Yeah, he was delayed, and he is going to lose this fire ship, it looks like. It's going to be able to be saved. He was blocked in with the fishing ship is why he saved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Pro stuff, as Dexter should probably retreat and repair these. But Dexter, just with superior numbers, I guess it's that Lithuanian build, man. As Duke just taking the fight, ooh, that's a blunder, man. He kind of can't afford to just toss a fire ship for nothing like that.
Yeah.
Dexter, it kind of looks like Dexter's won this with pure fires. Yeah, mixing in the demos. Okay, the jury is definitely back in session, dude. Fire Galley might be the play here.
I mean, it's both are very good. It's just depending on what you prefer. And we'll see how this works out. Demolition rafts in queue here. 2 of them here. We do have the fires going forward trying to snipe some fish behind this. We'll see. That is likely going to happen, but losing fish at this point isn't going to be the end of the world, as he's actually going to send back some fire ships. We also have the mill coming up here for Duke, as he will try to mill in those now.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I disagree, man. Losing fish is like huge. Like the fish are what enable you to have a competitive castle time. And Dexter saves all of his while Duke still only has 2 and they're not working or they're about to go down. I mean, Duke is left with only 2 eco units on food, man. The loss of the fish for Duke is causing him to idle his TC.
Yeah, no, I was saying it's not a big deal for Dexter at this point. He still has all of his sheep. He's still out here getting onto hunt. He's gonna have a rough military engagement here. He needs to separate some fire ships. Demos all over the place. Demo did work out just fine, but ultimately 12 military to 5 right now. And Dexter's economy is plus 10 vils behind this.
Yep. I mean, Dexter appears to have won water in Feudal Age. Duke, he's played this to game 3. I suspect he's not going to call the fast GG as we sometimes see players do after losing water. He's Italians. He has a good chance to come back on water. He has a good chance to win the game without ever regaining water control.
And we'll see, his demos have been on point here. He's really helped himself out with this. He's kept his docks alive during this transition. His economy, though, is quite at the deficit. And there's a market here for Dexter, so he will need another building. But he will be clicking up here. What looks like way ahead of Duke.
I mean, Dexter's in a hugely advantageous position. Not only has he won water, but he's ahead big time in Vils, 36 to 28, not to mention the fishing ships. Duke, though, seeding farms, though, that's a sign that he's not ready to call the GG anytime too soon. I mean, he is behind a stone wall and an entire map away from the opponent. He's not going to die soon, but he's going to be playing with a huge economic and strategic disadvantage, having lost water here.
Yep, and some of these ships are getting repaired. It doesn't look like he's going to repair all of them. But he's going to try to pull them back, but we'll see what happens here. Obviously, Dexter is about to click up here, and he hasn't had to seed a single farm with this Lithuanian build, having all of his sheep still available for him after he pushed in the 2 deer earlier. Lithuanians looking very strong here. Dexter playing them very well. Duke,
Yep, tough.
hanging in there. Needs more demos.
Yeah, I feel like Duke might call it when he sees the opponent hit Castle Age. Duke appears to be committed to winning water, which I actually agree with here, man. I don't like to play this map out after losing water. I guess these demos kind of represent his last stand, and Dexter's not easing up on the Fire Galley production. He's not going to give Duke a window here to come back.
Yep, Dexter sells his stone, clicks up, will be in Castle Age in 2.5 minutes, and has a 14 to 3 military advantage here. And Doc's probably going to stay up with all these demos that keep coming out, but once the next age comes in, will be difficult. Some excellent demo trades here, but doesn't really leave you anything standing, except for maybe your dock, which goes down.
And Duke, I really think he will call it when he sees the Castle Age. He's so far away from that himself. If he's in the mindset of I either win water or I don't win the game, seeing the opponent gain access to Castle Age technology will make his hard situation impossible.
Yeah. And Castle Age only a minute away. Honestly, Duke has done a great job here in the game to stay alive, but the lack of TC production here, you can just see it in the idle TC time, 15 seconds compared to 4. The water build for Dexter here has been quite impeccable. He's even shifted onto stone, so maybe he plans on going forward if his opponent stays in here with a potential castle. And I think we'll start to see fish added behind this before too long.
Yeah, maybe Duke will hang in. The score is not that far off. Yep. Duke deciding to play this out. He's continuing to queue units in these docks. I don't know what to think of that. I guess Duke still thinks he has a chance to win water, but the later it goes, the less valuable winning water gets. Like, at this point, he wouldn't even have the opportunity to do a proper fish boom or anything. But I suppose by continuing to fight water, he's denying Dexter the privilege of a fish boom himself.
Yeah, to a certain point, and obviously with demos, it has helped him stay alive, but he's got the fire, or he's got the upgrade now on these ships, so it will be even more difficult. These rafts won't do nearly as much damage, as we are going to see that surround come in here, and demo after demo can come out as much as they want. I don't think these are going to stand for too much longer.
If he loses these garrisoned units, he will be truly hopelessly behind on water. As he's losing docks, he's losing his garrisoned units. I mean, if you just take a look at the eco, though, I guess Duke is still in this.
Yeah, but he's behind on the Castle Age too, so GG will come in. Dexter will take it, and what was a great set between these two. Game number 2, obviously Duke going with Vikings against Britons was a good game for him. The Arabia game was not bad either, and this game, I feel like just the Lithuanian pick here kind of surprising us all a little bit, maybe.
Yep. I guess this map with the short rush distance really is all about the fastest possible up, and I think Lithuanians might be the fastest. I mean, by that same logic, Malay would also be an excellent choice for this map. Yep, good series though. Nice to see it go to 3 games. Well fought by both, and yeah, this TM clan looks like they're going to be having some players run deep in this bracket.
Indeed, indeed. But GG's here to both players. Congratulations to Dexter, who will move on. Duke, Thompson, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed. But we will say goodbye to you in the only way we know how here in just a second.